Have you ever heard about the drama triangle? When you're in a conflict, you're embodying one of these three positions. You're either the rescuer, the persecutor, or the victim. This is not who you are, but who you embody when you get triggered. And it doesn't matter which one it is, because each one of those positions is going to keep the conflict alive and drags it on into the future. In this video, we will explore how you can break the loop so you can resolve your conflict, how you can understand your roles in the conflicts better, and I will give you the #1 best question to break the drama triangle. So stay tuned until the end. Hello, I'm David and welcome to my YouTube channel. The drama triangle was developed by psychologist Stephen Karpman in 1968. It is a social model that describes the roles people take on in interpersonal dysfunctional relationships. And it highlights the patterns of unhealthy communication and behavior. So let's have a look at the three roles at first. #1, we have the victim. And the position of the victim is, my life is hard and unfair, poor me. The dynamic is, it's not my fault, everyone else is at fault. The payoff of being a victim is you don't have to take responsibility to change anything for the better. You attract rescuers, but the price is you don't have the feeling that you can change anything or that you have control about anything. You have the reputation of being very weak, ineffective, and disempowered, and probably complaining a lot. The victim feels stuck because it has no power and not the feeling that he can have any influence about anything. It's a feeling of very low self-worth. Next, we have the persecutor. And the position of the persecutor is, I am surrounded by idiots and no one is as good as me. So everybody else is inferior. The dynamic is, it's not my fault, it's yours. The payoff is a feeling of superiority and control and power over other people. The price is you're responsible for everything. You create victims. You have the reputation of a very egoistic person. No one likes tyrants, and people will only do the absolute minimum for you. The persecutor feels stuck because he or she has the feeling that they're very alone and they cannot trust anybody. And third, we have the rescuer, which has the position of, don't you worry, I will take care of it, you don't fight. The dynamic is, it's all my burden, it's all my responsibility and not yours. The payoff is a feeling of moral superiority and the feeling of being irreplaceable. The price? People will reject your help because no one likes ballbusters and you keep the drama triangle alive. The rescuer feels stuck because he experiences pressure because none of his ways to rescue or resolve the solution actually work out. Important to mention is that those roles can shift very quickly during an argument. For example, a rescuer may become a victim when their help is being rejected. Or a victim might turn into a persecutor by blaming their rescuer for failure. So as you can see, it's a self-perpetuating cycle. Those roles feed into one another and they keep this dysfunctional conflicts alive, just by their mere being. So how to break the drama triangle? So if you want to escape the drama triangle, you have to adopt healthier roles within the conflict. The victim has to turn into a creator. He has to take responsibility for personal choices and focus on solutions rather than problems. The rescuer has to turn into a coach. He or she has to encourage others to solve their problems themselves instead of him or her solving the problems for them. The coach sets boundaries and avoids over-involvement. And the persecutor has to turn into a challenger, which is defined by providing constructive feedback without blaming the other person and promote accountability with empathy. And now let's go into the question that will break the drama triangle, which is, how can I help? Very plain and simple, how can I help? This is like a mild version of what do you want? But with both of these questions, it's very important. The tone is creating the music. It's a German saying, meaning it doesn't matter what you say, it matters how you say it. You have to ask this question with empathy and the true desire to resolve the conflict and to create peace within each other and to understand the person in front of you. You can't just mouth the words. You actually have to mean it. You know, you can ease into the question by starting with, just out of curiosity, how could I help you? And then you have to listen. And that's easier said than done, because listening can be very difficult, especially when you get triggered. But in listening lies a lot of power and wisdom. When you create a space for the other person to express how he or she really feels, you might understand this whole situation differently afterwards. When you really listen with an open heart and really try to understand. That's very important. And then in future, just make sure to not fall into one of these roles. And if you fall into one of them, you now have some knowledge on how you can break the cycle again. Anyway, that has been my video, a very short one today, but I hope it could create some value for you. I would be very grateful if you would like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. Goodbye.